What is going on, everyone? Dr. Sweat Schools here, back at it with my first ever retard reviews. And it's sort of like my hard drug reviews, but instead of talking about drugs, we're going to be talking about someone who I think is pretty damn retarded. So let's get into this. And in today's episode, we're going to be discussing none other than Nathan Sages, also known as Shredded Sages. He's this Instagram dude who's just... Dude, I'm pretty sure whippets would be less damaging to your brain than listening to this dude. But anyway, let's get into it. And in his first, he starts off by saying he's like this health influencer guy, and he promotes a lot of bullshit. One of the first things being is raw dairy.
Seriously, but I'm drinking the raw milk. You know it's gonna make you sick, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Our ancestors 100 years ago would definitely, pasteurize their milk before they drink it. Are you fucking dumb? The reason you guys are fat is because you go to the grocery store and get regular milk, regular Greek yogurt, and regular dairy.
The reason I find it retarded is because the thing about raw milk is that it can be fine to drink if the cow is raised right, is treated right, and is healthy. Then the milk they produce is healthy, and there's not a huge need to pasteurize it. Although there's nothing wrong with drinking pasteurized milk. Like, the Shredded Sages guy acts like, well, unless you drink raw milk, then the dairy doesn't have nutritional value, and that's just not true. Maybe it slightly decreases, but nothing significant. And either way, you can just get those, nutrients you're missing from the pasteurization. You can just get it from other shit, bro. Like, it's not like, oh my god, now you're never gonna get the fucking nutrients. And I don't know why you would drink raw milk. It's a lot harder to find a farmer who's trustworthy, who raises the cows right. It's probably a lot more expensive too than to just go to the store and buy regular milk. Like, it's not a big deal. It's not like going to harm you. Like, drinking pasteurized milk is not going to be the reason why you're fucking unhealthy, unless you do it to very extreme degrees. The next thing he says is that going on a jog is not good because it'll lower your test, which I find that to be pretty retarded because, first off, there's reasons to exercise besides increasing your test. Maybe your goal isn't to increase it. Maybe it's to lose weight. Maybe it's, just to get more movement in your day. There's like a million reasons why people exercise, okay? And just because it is not like the most ideal thing for testosterone does not make it an inherently shitty exercise. Another thing about it is that I was doing some reading on this, and the relationship between running and testosterone is unclear at best. What I have found is that most exercises, pretty much every exercise, will help increase testosterone to some extent. The best ones to increase it are weightlifting and high intensity training, but other exercises can increase it. It's just less significant. And it only really becomes a problem if you over exercise, and that's pretty much true for any exercise. I don't think there's a reason not to jog. So I don't know why he's so against it. It doesn't really make any sense to me.
Yo, bro, you ready to go for a jog?
Jogging. You realize jogging kills your test? Jogging burns carbs, not fat, right? Plus, it spikes your cortisol. So unless you want to look like the high school cross-country kids, then you can keep jogging and stay small.
These are some sources I found. Here we are saying that exercise is one of the most effective ways to prevent many lifestyle-related diseases, and it can boost your testosterone. Resistance training, weightlifting, has been shown to boost testosterone levels short-term. High-intensity training can be effective as well, although all types of exercise should work to some extent. And this was medically reviewed by a fucking MD, so I don't want to fucking hear... Like, are we really going to stop listening to health experts and professionals, and we're going to listen to this Shredded Sages guy who's just some shirtless dickhead on fucking Instagram who wants your fucking money? That's retarded, bro. Another thing I found was this one. It was from Harvard and reviewed by another MD, so I'm pretty sure this is a much more credible source than some random shirtless guy on making some reels, but that's besides the point. This is a section on exercise. So now the next thing this guy says is that he's against vegetables, and it really doesn't even make any sense because there's no, like, can you show me any science that shows that vegetables are actively harming you? Like, the thing is that he will say, like, oh, don't eat vegetables because you don't need them. But first off, just because you don't need them doesn't necessarily mean that they're harmful and that you should avoid them. Second off, they're actually beneficial. They're actually, like, there's good reason to eat your vegetables. But some other influencer who seems to be more credible, he seems to have more science that he uses to back up his points rather than just fucking nothing. He sort of explains it and he breaks it down better than I could, so I'll just show you that.
Why am I scared of vegetables? Well, here's the truth. You don't need vegetables. Everyone thinks all vegetables are going to make you healthy. You could hit all your micronutrients through beef, eggs, raw dairy, fruit, and honey.
2 kiwis on the side. Kiwis are one of the only fruits that will give us vitamin K1. Vitamin K1 is a lot more abundant in vegetables, so definitely got to get those kiwis in. We'll do a glass of milk for calcium, and we'll throw in 2 more kiwis for more of that vitamin K1. As you can see, it is definitely possible to hit all of your micronutrient goals without vegetables. With that said, including vegetables as part of a balanced diet is only going to help you.
As you can see, there's no real reason to avoid vegetables. I don't even know why he makes such a claim, but it sort of shows you, like, I think the kiwi example is pretty good. It's pretty hard to get all your micronutrients just because it's technically possible. It's very difficult to, and most people can't afford the time, the energy, the money to have such a precise, consistent diet like that. Because, vitamin K1, that was just one example. There's probably a lot of other things too that are pretty hard to get without vegetables. And why not make it easier? Why make it harder when there's literally no reason to? There's no benefit to it. But anyway, let's go on with the final point, and that is that he basically relies on his physique. That's basically, like, why he says that he's credible, is that he has a good physique, which doesn't even make any sense because he's in his early 20s. Of course you would have a good physique. It's not hard to have a good physique in your early 20s. And just because you're in your early 20s and you have a good physique does not make you more trustworthy than a doctor.
Why does anyone take this guy seriously? Let me show you. Because I look better than you. I ask the same question why people take doctors and nutritionists seriously when the doctor or the nutritionist is overweight.
So it is possible to have good exercise, to have a good diet and still be fat. It's not like, your weight and the size of your body is solely determined by exercise and your diet. And this guy acts like those are the only 2 fucking things that matter. And in reality, it's a lot more to it. Yeah, if you have good exercise and you have a good diet, it's much easier to be healthy and stay looking healthy. But that's not 100% of the picture. And I think that he sort of acts like it is 100% of the picture, which is just sort of wrong, in my opinion.
And the reason I'm saying that is because I was shredded drinking alcohol every single weekend. But the exterior didn't matter when my energy was low. I had crazy brain fog and I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. And it's pretty simple.
Lastly, he admits that he had a pretty good physique while drinking on a weekly basis, which goes to show that just because your physique is good, especially at such a young age, it doesn't really mean jack shit. You could honestly do whatever the hell and you will probably have a pretty good physique. And it also shows that physique isn't everything. So his reasoning for not listening to a doctor or a nutritionist or an actual expert with actual knowledge is that they don't have a physique that's as good as his, which that doesn't even make sense because he just showed that physique doesn't really matter. It's not like the most significant thing at the end of the day. So anyway, guys, that's just my retard reviews on this guy. I don't even know why I made this. I just thought he was pretty retarded and thought I'd make a video on it. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.